Mm.
How
Brother,
come when you go through something, and I'm talking from my personal experience now, how come as a parent, when you go through something, you do not make the best effort for your child not to go through it? Because if we know ourselves and you know yourself on a spiritual level, you will know that we go about life in cycles, and what, because it comes down in the DNA. And what your parents went through, you're going to go through on a on a different level, because, and when I say on a different level, you're going to go through it either easier than they had, or either better than they had, or worse than they had, because of the choices and the decisions they made to raise you, if I make sense. I've been
100.
talking a lot all day, but it is us. It is what we put into ourselves and what we put into our children. The choices and the decisions we make. That's the only thing we have after life and before death. Choices and decisions and accountability.
That's it. That's what I've come to learn, sis. 100%. It's responsibility and accountability. That's for anything that is going on. Yes, someone can, outside of ourselves, can affect how we feel, but it's how we choose to feel about it and how we look at it based on what's happening. Like the power of perception and having self-awareness, them two together there, and knowledge, being conscious or woke to what's actually going on in your surroundings, in your environment. Once you know that you can change it, just like you were saying to me in the beginning about me saying I'm mash up, you're like, nah, I'm well. It's what you're saying. It's how we take the feeling and see it as facts when it's not that. Do you know what I mean? The feeling is just that's what's negative or positive to you, but that can literally change based on your mind. Like you're saying, sis, it's the method. You can chuck a load of ingredients, have the knowledge to do it, but you can't. You don't have the method. It's nothing's falling in line with each other properly. Do you know what I mean? Once you've got the calculations and the method, then you're like, boom, then manifestation starts. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying.
We send our
Does anyone
children
else
to
want to?
school. We send our children to school. And we say we're sending you to get the best education. When all we doing is sending them out there to dumb them down.
Literally.
Amen. Amen. I
Like,
talk
I
about that
literally
every
picked up
day.
a school book from a primary school student. I picked up one of their textbooks, and
You get
I
yourself
was going through
ready
the textbook,
right
and
now.
I literally got frightened. I'm like, is this what I have to look forward to my child learning in school?
Yes, my brother.
Like, how? How? What is they teaching our kids in school? They're not teaching our kids emotional intelligence. They're not teaching our kids financial intelligence. They're not teaching our kids independence. What are they teaching our children? To be sheep and slaves?
Of course.
To not think for
Exactly.
themselves? To get
Mm,
in line?
mm.
They're
Watch
causing
your
the
mouth,
children
watch your tone.
anxiety and
Because you
emotion.
know what? I'm tired of talking to people now. And when you start talking nonsense and I get in my stern tone, oh, she's angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm fed up of the bullshit. And y'all need to cut that shit out. Y'all need to be angry for yourselves. Y'all should be angry at yourselves for still having these stupid mentalities in 2022, almost 23.
Mm,
In it.
mm,
And we're
mm,
still looking for somebody to come save us. Like I heard
mm.
somebody today talking about, oh, he found Jesus. He found Jesus and he realized he was evil and he had to stay and he's in his house now, staying him to himself because if he goes out into the world, he's gonna do evil things. And I'm like, what? So you don't have accountability or control of your over yourself. You don't have self-control. That's what you're
Oh
trying
my
to tell
God.
me.
You just
Because if you
believe.
need a Jesus
Yeah.
to tell you how to control yourself, then you got issues. And this is what's wrong with the world today. Y'all taking accountability and putting it in the hands of y'all imagination because ain't no God coming to save y'all. The
Their own
source of my
manifestation,
creation
man.
and me, the source of my creation and me is who walk in this journey. There ain't no Jesus coming to save me. There ain't nobody. I have to wake up and take accountability and save myself and my children.
You are
100%.
Jesus.
150%. Every seed in the orange have the ability to do the same thing as the tree that burnt them do. We all have the same eye in us. No
Modern
matter
day
how
slavery
much of a
is real,
youth you are,
sis.
I have to do it.
They have us still in slavery from the time you come out the womb and you register a child. You have us still in slavery by that paper, and then you have us in mental slavery because you teach us religion and then a whole bunch of stuff. In all these years they send us to school to pack our heads up with a whole bunch of nothing. Then when you finish all that schooling and you have this nothing, now you're supposed to be able to go out into the world and make a living, right? And for you to make a living, you need to now go put yourself in some kind of debt to get some other kind of training and information to be able to get a job out here. How does that make sense to anybody? The free education, packing up your head with a whole bunch of nonsense, and when you come out of school from all those years of the free education, you cannot get a good job. You can't get a job to survive. I'm looking
You
at
know,
today. I listened to somebody say it today. How come, we have so much nonsense? Look at the nonsense, right? Back in the day, a man and a woman, when they got married in the old days, the man went out and worked, and the woman was at home taking care of the kids. But guess what? The only thing that went up in this world in value is the things outside of yourself, not the money you're working for, not your value. The things outside of yourself is the only thing that went up in value. Everything is costing a whole bunch now. So it comes like you're doing the same job, damn near for the same money, and that money cannot last out here to pay your bills because cost of living went up. But yet, we're not taking charge of our lives. We're not having value for ourselves because we're still getting up and going to these jobs.
Blessings
We're
to
still
yourself.
paying the taxes. We're still doing the things that
Taxes. That's
literally
another
make
why they
these
keep us down.
to make this
Why
invisible
are people paying
control.
taxes when you think about it?
It's an illusion of control. And the only people perpetuating the illusion of control is us. Because we're the ones getting up and going to that job. We're the ones paying the taxes. We're the ones still talking about, well, the government did this and the government did that and the government. But guess what? The only thing you're
It's
not
me, but
doing,
you're in and out. I am me. In and out.
I've been thinking about even just, like just moving to Gambia. That is like, thinking about it, it's like actually doing it. So you're gonna think of all the possibilities, all the cons, or all the ways that that's stopping you from doing it. But it's only when you're there you see it's possible. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very easy. And I'm just thinking about the other day. I'm thinking all this fear surrounding freedom. Do you know what I mean? Or to go to a more thriving environment where you will thrive better, like where my children will and things like that. And I'm like, it's not really impossible to just like, well, what? Because I always got to think about this one life I got right here, and what I'm actually doing with it. And like what you're saying, everything's just about control and fear and what you've got to do. And this is why I'm been so hyped since I got back from Gambia, because I'm like, if I slip back into this, comfortable energy of being uncomfortable here, it's gonna, you know what I mean?